field is ours. We must hold it.
Man, helicopters are cool, but they have quite the bad reputation in War Thunder, which stems from the role in Ground RB. Unfortunately, the Heli PVE game mode has a bunch of problems. Gaijin recently stated two things. They need to raise the repair cost of helicopters in this mode because they live longer than expected, and they're thinking about what they should actually do with the mode. In order to help them with this, I wanted to go over some of the issues and offer a couple of solutions. So let's assume you're a new player and would like to play Heli PVE. The first problem you stumble across is the fact that you can't play the mode until you made it to rank 5 and bought a helicopter. So a couple of months of grinding later, you get yourself a stock beginner helicopter. As soon as you join your first PvE match, you realize how absurdly huge the maps are, as well as the fact that the mission timer sits at 3 hours. As you play, you run into the problem that you cannot engage certain targets like convoys that are protected by Gepards, since the Gepards in this mode have a 3 km range, and you need to be within roughly 2 km to hit things with your unguided rockets. And of course you don't have any AGMs unlocked because you're in a stock helicopter. If for some reason you actually decide to stick around for the next 1 to 2 hours, you will notice that the Enduring Confrontation spawns are completely busted. You will witness things like targets not spawning, Gepards on the side of a mountain, Centurions deciding to become submarines, or M60s defying the laws of physics. Add on top of this that if you have a premium helicopter with an AGM range greater than 6.5 km, there's nothing in this game mode that can take you out. The longest range anti-air in PvE are the Rolands with a 6.5 km range. But even if you only have something like the Mi-24P with a 5 km range, all you have to do is avoid bases, because only the bases are protected by Rolands. All of the other targets are protected by anti-air guns with a 3 km range. This then leads to the fact that top tier helicopters tend to not die at all. So here's how I would attempt to fix this mode, and maybe even encourage some premium helicopter sales, since Gaijin has to severely rework this mode, which is going to take a lot of time and effort, and it's going to cost a lot of money. First of all, about that rank 5 requirement. Let's keep it because I'm sure this actually makes Gaijin some money. But what if we copy the Ground Arcade helicopter spawn system into the PvE mode to enable everyone without a helicopter to still try out the mode? Of course there's a catch. All the random helicopters you can spawn within this system are perfectly set up premium helicopters. If the player wants to spawn in a random helicopter with only guns, we spawn him in a premium Apache. If he wants a heli with unguided rockets, we don't spawn him in a Bow 105 with like 6 unguided rockets, we spawn him in a premium Mi-24 with like 80 unguided rockets. Now as the player plays with these helicopters, they will not earn any SL or RP, but they won't lose any either. And at the end of a match, we show a results screen that displays what helicopters were played and what the player achieved with them, alongside a buy now button of sorts and a clear explanation of the benefits of buying one of these premium helicopters. If this system stays active even when the player already has a helicopter in his lineup, it would also help with the stock grind, since the player has access to a powerful AGM helicopter to clear any anti-air and then jump back into the stock helicopter to take out the now unprotected ground targets. I also think we should scrap the Enduring Confrontation mode, alongside with its huge maps. But we can recycle the maps at least. Why don't we take one of these big EC maps like Vietnam and cut them into 3 to 5 smaller maps that take around 15 minutes each to complete. Then connect these smaller maps through an overarching story, with in-engine cutscenes at the beginning of a match. Just imagine if you could get your composer to make a couple of Vietnam-era rock music tracks, and Pandromodo would make a little cinematic trailer with a couple of Hueys to advertise this new and improved Vietnam helicopter PvE campaign that everyone has access to. I mean, it would basically sell itself. You could also tie certain account progressions behind the completion of one of these campaigns, something like a profile pic or a title. Lastly, if helicopters are alive for too long, let's not raise the repair cost, but instead add something that can actually take them out. What if there was a system that tracks how long a player has been alive for, and if a certain time is crossed, a fighter squadron is dispatched to specifically hunt down this player. This fighter squadron keeps respawning until the player dies once and then they despawn. This would make sure that the player has to pay the expected repair cost, while also giving the player the chance, or more like the illusion, of fighting back. It would tie into the whole beast
inside you. It will not die. It will fight back.
Now, if you watched up until this point, please share your opinion down in the comments and maybe share the video if you like.